Alright, so welcome to the final episode of this new Ayrton Senna Challenge Career Mode. We have been to Suzuka, we've been to Monaco, we have been to Silverstone, and we have been to the Hungaroring. In this final episode, we are going to Spa-Francorchamps and, of course, his home Grand Prix, Sao Paulo. What a couple of circuits we got today. That is brilliant. Alright, so we're not wasting any time, we are already loading into the Spa weekend, and I'm actually quite curious, do people actually take this game mode seriously? And what I mean by that is, do they actually go and complete all the practice sessions, get all the programs done, try and win every single, race and get every pole? Because I'm just sat here, and I only do quali in the race, because I just don't see the point of doing practice. I don't know what the point of this game mode is. It's also extremely easy. If you've seen my last two episodes of this, I am playing on the highest difficulty they offer, which is Expert, but the lowest difficulty of AI they put you on is 85. Now, I run at least 106 on every single circuit, so I don't know. I do think this game mode needs a little bit of a workaround, a little bit of a change. They need to make it more difficult. They need to make it 25% races or 35, not 5-lap races, and a short or a full quali. I think that will make this game mode actually quite fun. And as always, if you're new around here, why not like the video and subscribe? I'm trying to hit 1.4k by the end of the year. Alright, here we go then. Spa qualifying. Let's do this thing. I don't have the wheel bug, but I do have the brake bug, so that's probably lost me this pole position. And I've got oversteer. Okay, let's lock in. I do have this weird bug where when I first load onto the game, it registers my brake as like pressing it down by 10%, and it doesn't allow me to drive. But let's see if I can recover a few of these places in this qualifying. See, obviously my Sector 1 is going to be dismal, but I'm only 3/10 away. I reckon, given a slightly decent Sector 2... Oh, right. Okay, so I was going to say if I had a decent Sector 2, I could probably claw back and get this pole, but I'm already back at pole position, and I've only just gone through the start of Sector 2. Right, okay. See, this is what I mean. I feel like if I was allowed to change the difficulty to any number, like you do any other, game mode, and if these qualifying sessions were short or full, and then the race was 25 or 35%, I could actually take this seriously. But, what are you... I'm sat here, I was driving at 260. Going down the main straight, I lost 3/10 in Sector 1, and I'm about to get pole by about, 2 seconds or something ridiculous. My goodness, out of the bus stop chicane, it's a very awful lap, even without the thing at the start, and yet, it's still a pole position for Fatimus Crimitus III. Lovely stuff. So yeah, my gap was actually 1 second, which is a little bit less than I thought it would be, but still, take a look at my Sector 1, right? Sector 1, 31.5, 31.2, 31.1, 31.2, you get the idea. Norris at a 31.5, even though I wasn't even driving at full throttle down the main straight. Sector 2, I'm basically a second up. So it's actually my Sector 3 where I'm a little bit poo. Okay, well anyway, it's a 1 second gap. I'm on pole, and now we convert it to a victory royale. 2! And welcome to the beautiful Spa on a lovely Sunday afternoon. Now, let's get that aerodynamics down. I did increase it for qualifying only. And let's just not waffle on a bit. Let's not waste time. Let's just go and win this race by about 7 seconds. I think that's a good margin to win by. Here we go then, let's see, can I actually have a decent start in the video game for the first time? And we are off! That start was very long. I've got a lot of wheel spin, but I'm away into turn 1. Lovely start. If I was on slightly harder AI, I probably would have lost about 4 places there, but it's okay. And we are off. Flat through here, of course, that's George Russell's favourite saying. Now let's see what kind of straight line speed I've got against Charlie. I've got a lot of overtake to use, and he's going back quite a bit, to be fair. And into Sector 2 we go, and we are away, and we're off, and we're locked. Trying to avoid the sausage, very nice. And that should see us easily win this race, which I was going to do anyway, but that just automatically confirms it. And now let's see what kind of winning margin I can put up. I mean, we're already 1.6 ahead, and we are halfway through lap 1. Oh, I'm feeling some dominance here. Fat Crim dominance could bore fans, quote by Lewis Hamilton. And send it into the bus stop chicane. That was pretty much perfect on the brakes. That might be the first time I've ever done that. And that is lap 1, numero uno, complete. And I've got a 2.5 second gap. So going off that, I'll have a what? 12.5 second lead by the end of this race? I reckon that's doable. Realistically, I should have done a last to first on this track, because this is probably the best track to attempt a last to first. It's so easy for overtaking, and seeing the amount of pace that I have compared to the AI, I definitely should have done last to first here, but I might still do it for Brazil, because of course Max Verstappen basically done it a few days ago, so why can't I? Alright, there's lap number 2 complete. I was quite slow through the bus stop chicane, but that's a very, very nice lap time. 43.5 I think is fairly respectable, to be honest. And as you can see, the gap is now up to 5 seconds near enough. So I'm still keeping up that 2.5 second gain per lap. Although I think the 12.5 second lead by the end is looking a bit bleak. And look at the utter disrespect the game has just given me there. So I just set a lap time 20 seconds ago of a 1 minute 43.5. The game gives me an objective, and look, a 47.7. That's just not very nice, is it? I could probably spin, recover, and still manage to do a 47. Like, that's how slow that is. Okie dokie, mate, we have 1 lap remaining, and I am 3.2 seconds off of my estimated 12.5 second lead. However, I have been planning for this. I have saved my battery quite a lot throughout these laps, and I'm just going to absolutely put it to the floor and just dump all of it, and hopefully that gives me the extra margin. Alright, here we go. It's time to unleash the speed and the power of my McLaren. And that's not giving me nearly enough overtake as I thought it would, but that's okay. Through the start of Sector 2, keep it nice and clean, avoid the sausage curb. Of course, the car is going to be a bit skiddy, a bit snappy. The tyres are on fire and they're fairly worn. But that was a pretty nice exit. Need to get to the right and then hit it in. That was very nice. And I avoided the gravel. That was quite good. Now through here, I should be able to do a little slight lift. I've got on the curb though. Never mind, I managed to hold that brilliantly. Now these corners are genuinely quite tricky. You have to avoid that inside curb because it will send you flying into a barrier. And then through here, nice and early on the brakes, avoid that curb as well. And of course the gravel, you can see, I did go in it earlier, but it's fine. And honestly, I should have saved up a bit more ERS because I've got none left. And my gap is 11.5. I just said A11, ignore me. We go towards the bus stop chicane, and I don't think I'm going to be able to find a second through here, but we'll try our best. Lots of entry speed. That was actually very, very nice. Overtake on, we crossed the line. Is it enough for the 12.5 second lead? I don't think it is, but a very dominant, a very clean drive, apart from, you know, driving into the gravel 3 times and also using about 7 flashbacks, but it's fine, we move. Driver of the day, of course, and that was really fun. I love this track. I love driving on this track. The McLaren is a great car. And look at that. Ayrton Senna confirms the Drivers' Championship. In style, really. What a drive. See, that would have been the perfect way to do a last to first. Not only is it actually very possible at Spa, but to win the championship by doing a last to first, that would have been really cool. But it's in the past, you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing I can do about it. So here's your final finishing order, and actually I almost got the 12.5 second. We got a 12 second lead over Mr. Charlie. Lando Norris finishes P6, which is about standard for him. If you watch my Ayrton Senna driver career mode, he's about the same. He always loses places. The standings, of course, 35-point lead now in the drivers, which is of course enough to secure it. I don't know about the constructors though, because how many points can you get from one weekend? It's 26 plus 18. I can't do basic maths, but I believe that's 44. So I think we've confirmed the constructors as well, all in one weekend. And now we move on to Brazil. And seeing as, you know, I've won the drivers, I'm pretty sure we've secured the constructors. We should do a last to first, surely, shouldn't we? Let's do it. and welcome to Brazil, the Grand Prix. We are going to be starting P20 in this race, and guess who is on pole? It is, of course, none other than Lando Norris, and I bet he is, you know, recently repressed memories are starting to come back from a few days ago. This would be generationally funny if I win this race and he doesn't, because it's the exact same situation. Norris on pole, his closest rival in P17, or in my case, P20, and he bottles it. Let's see. It's only 5 laps, so I don't think it's possible, but we'll give it a good crack anyway. Now, in the Grand Prix, in real life F1, of course, a couple of days ago, Max Verstappen went from P17 to, I believe, P11 in 1 lap. So that's the kind of thing I need to do if I want to try and complete this last to first. But of course, I only get 5 laps, not 69. So let's see what happens. Now, of course, my starts in this game are also completely smelly, so not brilliant. But we are off. A little bit of a slow reaction. Honestly, not my worst start of the year. I'm not going to complain about that too much. We're going to start things off early. I think I'd rather have the outside line into turn 1. So we're going to go around the outside of Sargent, and then we're going to go to the inside here, gas it, and try and go around the outside like Verstappen did. It's not going to happen because we are in the dry, of course. But I can skip to the inside of Zhou Guanyu. I'm also going to go down the inside of Daniel Ricciardo. He's not going to see this coming. Boom! Down the inside, lovely move, and we are off. Next target is Kevin Magnussen, using all of my overtake. Now, I have a plan here. Because the AI are really stupid, I am going to do this. Boom! Down the inside of Magnussen and Mr. Stroll. Now we're going to try and go around the outside of Valtteri Bottas. An incredibly difficult move for the recently sacked driver. And then we're going to go down the inside of Ocon as well. And I am doing what Verstappen did, gaining 8 places on lap number 1. My next target is Yuki Tsunoda. I should have better straight line speed, and I do. Let's try and go for a move into turn 1. Here we go. Where's he going to go? He's going to go to the inside. I will happily take the outside line. Here we go, turn 1, boom, before the corner even comes up, we're past. Next target is Alexander, Mr. Albon. DRS is, of course, now enabled. I could probably go for the move here, so let's go to the outside, late on the brakes, swoop it round. A little bit off the track there, but I don't care enough. Lovely, into the points on lap number 2. Now I'm going to try and dive down the inside of Checo Perez here. That's a bit scary. Verstappen done it to Lawson. I've done it to Mr. Checo Perez. Lovely stuff. I can also probably get the Alpine of Gasly here down the inside of this corner. Had a bit of a crappy line through there, though, so I am going to lose a bit of time to Alonso. But another 2 places up. I do need to gain about 3 places a lap now if I do want to go and try and win this race. I'm going to have to send it like I'm silly on Fernando Alonso here. Here we go. Round turn 1. He's not going to give me much space at all. As late on the brakes as I can get. And I do get that move done with a massive stacker oversteer. Lovely stuff. Next up is going to be Lewis Hamilton. And I don't know exactly how I'm going to pass these cars from here onwards because they are all decently fast. I mean, of course, they're Mercedes and Ferraris and McLarens and the other Red Bull. I'm going to try a little switchback maneuver on Hamilton here, get a better drive out of that corner, and then this should be a very easy send up the inside over the curb, have a good exit, which I have done, and now I can try and chase George Russell, but I am simply not overtaking enough cars in this little time. I need to be like P5 by now if I want to try and win this race. I'm also running out of VRS, so I can't really go up the inside of George Russell here. I am going to get close, but I don't think it's doable, even with my late braking tactics. Let's see, into turn 1, no. Right, that might be the last of first done, to be honest. Yep, definitely after that as well. Right, there should be an easy move on Russell. Down the inside of here, I am actually going to clip him and damage my front wing a little bit, which is not ideal, and then he drives into me. Russell, stop. Down the inside of Max Verstappen. I had to get that move done there, or else I have no hope. I am up into P4. I don't think I can win this race. But if I can get into the podium places, I think that is still a fairly valiant effort. So let's try that now. What I really need is Norris to assault Charles Leclerc. They go wheel to wheel like that. And then maybe I can get a little bit of third-party action going. That isn't going to help. Why can I'm so bad at this game. Like, realistically, I've been playing this game for about 300 hours. I played F1 23 for 1,000 hours, and I'm still crashing by making rookie mistakes like that. Like, what is wrong with me? Right, there is actually a chance here of a miracle. I'm going to try and go round the outside of Carlos Sainz. Very, very brave by me there. I'm then going to switch it up and go down the inside of Leclerc. And now it is just my teammate, Lando Norris, in the way. But I've had a really bad exit. I'm going for it. Lando Norris, come here. Boom. Have some of that, mate. Oh, yes. Have a bit of that, you scummy tosser. Now, I don't know if I can even defend down this main straight to get across the line. Here comes Lando Norris. It's going to be very, very close. Ah! Did I get it? 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 Did I get... Ah! I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, that was just an absolute liberty take. To be honest, I'm actually quite disappointed in myself there because I genuinely believe that if I didn't just send Norris like that and I just drove normally, I probably would have got him across the line. But that, yeah, okay, you know what? Whatever. If I was taking this career mode seriously, like I do all my other career modes, I wouldn't have done that. Do you know what I mean? But it's this challenge career. It's just an absolute piss take, do you know what I mean? So there's the final race completed. I actually managed to do the last to first. It was a little bit dodgy. But you know what? We moved. Yeah, that was actually very, very fun, apart from the final lap. That's all because of Leclerc, by the way, fighting Lando Norris into turn 4, which allowed me to get past Sainz, get past Leclerc, and then mount the assault on Norris. That was very, very good. Thank you, Charlie. Of course, that is the end of the series as well. All 3 chapters have been completed. The standings look like this. 46-point lead in the drivers over 6 races. Constructors, we already secured it, but now we doubly secure it with, of course, a McLaren 1-2, so the gap is now 63 points. And yeah, thanks for watching this episode. If you watched any of my episodes, thank you. That's great. You know, this game mode is awful, but they're very fun to make videos on because of how light-hearted you can take them. I'll be back soon with some more normal stuff. Career mode, Has to Glory, my team, Senna driver career. And of course, I am now streaming a lot more often, so why not come check out some of my streams, because they're quite fun. And we'll go from there. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you a lot later. Goodbye. We'll leave then.